Hello, it's Matt here from HiveMind Mead, and we're just doing a really quick video to show you we're introducing 3 wonderful hives of bees to the beautiful surroundings of Tintern Abbey, and we're very privileged to keep our bees here. They provide honey for the gift shop. We make mead from the honey that they produce here too, which is a really nice historical link with the history of the Abbey, and we thought we'd just show you how we introduced 3 lovely hives of bees to the wonderful new hives we've got here on site. Just lighting the smoker because these guys have had a long journey, and we'll just use the smoke to keep them nice and calm. Also, the weather's not wonderful. I think we're about to get wet, so we'll be nice and quick. All right, let's get stuck in. So these are our queen bees that we bred last year. These were locally raised, locally mated, open mated in whatever summer we had last year. And we overwintered them in these really small boxes, which are great because it's really thermally efficient. They're made of polystyrene, which means they're really well insulated. It's now time for them to move into a full hive because they're never going to make any honey in these boxes. They'll make enough to keep them going, and they've put on a lot of weight actually in the last 2 weeks, but they're never going to make enough for anything that we can harvest sustainably. It's now April, and they're going to double or triple in the next 2 months. These are our brand new beehives. It'd be like moving out of a very small bungalow into a lovely high-rise all to yourself. Right, the first step is to just give them a gentle knock on the front door. We've had a very unpredictable spring, so you'll see a little bit of fondant that they've still got on. This is a sort of emergency spring food. They haven't eaten all of it, which is a good sign. We're also going to have a quick look up here for the queen because she has been known to wander up there. She's definitely been active here today, so she'll be around. But look at that lovely brood she's been laying. Fantastic laying pattern. She's going really well, this one. There she is, right in the middle. Beautiful looking queen. The tip of my hive tool there. Yep. Lovely. She's nice and young, fluffy thorax, so she's a lovely first year queen. Big abdomen on her, so she's got lots of eggs ready to go, which is great to see. So this is the last frame in the box. As you can see, they've made a hole in that. But look, they've drawn this comb out beautifully, and she's been laying right to the wall, which is really great. You'll see lots and lots of eggs. Whenever you're looking to see if the queen is there, that's a really, really good sign. You know, I don't actually look for the queen, I look for signs of her, and that's a really, really good indication. I will bash this roof in. It might look a bit harsh, but it's the best way of getting all the bees in. There they go. Cracking. These guys need a crown board, which is what that is, and they can expand and grow into their new home. These are old frames here, so we'll make use of them in the future. Brilliant. And as they get used to that, we'll put them back together and we'll move on to the next one. Right, so I've got my smoker going. Let's get stuck in to see what's going on in here. Yet again, the first thing we do is look in the roof for the queen. I see her right on the roof there, just there. We don't really want her in there yet because we've got nowhere for her to go. So we'll keep an eye on her whilst getting a few early frames in so she can run and sit on some actual bees. So this is quite exciting. So when we grafted her in last year, we used a queen cell that we had taken from another hive, and there's the remains of that queen cell. Look at the pollen they've been bringing in, lovely yellow pollen. These guys are making drone brood, so they are definitely in the mood for moving house in the next few weeks. However, we're going to give them a brand new house. So lots of drone brood, a bit bumpy there, a bit patchy brood pattern. So we'll keep an eye on these guys. And what I'll probably do is when these frames go in, I will turn that box roof upside down, and then she can go in there almost immediately, and she will, because it'll smell like home, it'll smell really familiar, and that's exactly what she wants. What we're going to now do is just going to turn that big box upside down like that. We'll leave them there for a few minutes just to sort of get used to the life. In a few instances, there are 2 queens, but we know that there was only one in here last year. Occasionally, in maybe 15% of hives, you get a mother and a daughter first thing in the spring, but I think we're getting into the later spring now, and that doesn't often sort of continue. I'm going to pick her up by a wing, very carefully. I'm out of practice again. She's flapping her wings, which is a bad sign. Right, there she is, in she goes. There she goes, right in there. That's exactly where I want her. Now, we can be reasonably happy that there's, you know, there are a lot of bees in here, but we can just steer those bees in. There we go, fine. These guys are just making sense of life. That's all done, that's all done. We're going to put these frames nicely up against and keep it nice and snug. If you don't do this, they'll produce brace comb, which is a real pain. I'm going to see if there's any of these sort of fairly ropey frames are any good. Bit of mouldy pollen in there, they'll soon clear that out as they move, but that's fine. These are from a hive last year that we didn't need. They'll probably fill these frames with honey from the hawthorn that's around us here, which is a nice little source of food for them. Brilliant, we're on to the third hive now. There's lots of drone brood and drones in here, so either the queen is really confident that she's going to swarm and is producing lots of male suitors for her other sisters in the area, or the queen is laying drone larvae and has run out of sperm over the winter. We will find out. It's definitely a strong hive, lots and lots and lots and lots of bees. I'm gonna give them a touch of smoke to keep them nice and calm. Again, these guys have had a long journey. They're amazingly good tempered, honestly. I'm beekeeping here without gloves on, which I don't think I do. Oh my goodness, look at this slab of brood there. That's fantastic laying pattern. What a queen. I've not got any problem with her at all. She's laying drone because she thinks she's gonna move house. Yeah, really great to see that. Again, lots and lots and lots of bees. I'm not looking for the queen, but I'm happy that she's there in capacity, in doing a good job. These guys needed to be moved and needed to be moved into a bigger house. You can see there's brood to the wall of this hive, which is a great indication of a really, really thriving hive that's running out of room. So you know that if they are filling their box with bees and brood like that, there's only one place for these guys to go, and that is in a swarm, in a tree, somewhere in the area. So it's great that we're giving them more room. And there's no indication of swarming at all yet, so that we've caught these just in time, which is great. We've had a lovely warm spring, which is what's brought these on really well. No sign of the queen as yet. She'll usually be on the dark side of the frame. She doesn't like light, so she'll be on the dark side. So I always start by picking out the frame and looking at the shadowy side. Then I look at the side that she's less likely to be on. And yeah, I can't see her on either, which is fine. And then I have to remember which side they went in, because it's really important the frames go back in the same way. They will fit really well with the neighbouring frame, but not at all well if you flip the frame over. Right, I'm going to go for it. She's on to me. She knows what I'm about. There she is. There she goes, right in the middle. Oh, there she goes, on the top, running along and down. That's perfect. Great to see. Fine, and now I know there's no risk of harming the queen, so I can be a bit more cavalier with this lot. Right, I'm going to lean this up against the back. They're going to all walk up and go into their new box. That's the plan. You see this extra space they built here? So they had the room, they needed more space, so they built comb, which the queen has then laid in. So they definitely needed the room, and this new hive will give them the room. But this unfortunately can't stay here because we've got to put a crown board on the top of that. So I will be chiseling this off. There you go. Off you go. There you go. And you can use that to make candles, beeswax hand cream, all sorts of things. So that is a bee egg that's been laid today, standing on its end. You see it, those little tiny white dots in there? Just really great to see such an active queen that's laying so well. Just going to invite these to step out of the way. Thank you. These boxes go back on. So this is the last of 4 hives that we're moving in today. This one actually has been here for a little while, so they're much more used to this. They've also been given a bit more room because we've left some supers on here for the winter. So these guys are a bit larger, which is great to see. This box is full of honey and lots of brood. Look at that. That's almost pure drone brood. So we'll be looking for the queen pretty much through the whole thing. Look at that, that's a queen cell. So they're looking to raise a new queen. There's no egg in it yet, but that would be where they would start to raise one, I think. Pretty much the same as before. We are transferring all these frames over. This is a very well-established hive. Lots of quite yellow bees in here. So obviously the queen has been mating with a good variety and a good sort of range of drones when she went out to get her mating flight. So there's lots of dark and lots of light bees in here. So yeah, a good mix of genetics going on. And it's just tremendous to keep bees in the grounds of this lovely abbey that's been here since the 1100s, and to make mead in a traditional way from the honey gathered from the grounds of the abbey. I think we'd be the first people to do this for hundreds and hundreds of years. And it's a traditional mead that's brewed in a traditional way. We just use honey, which is exactly as it should be. And I'd like to say, exactly as it should be, but it's not commonly the case with a lot of cheaper meads on the market that are made out of white sugar, as a way of cutting down on cost and bulking out the ingredients. Right, we're going to finish off here. Thanks very much for joining us as we introduce these bees to their new homes. If you'd like to find out more, you can come down to Tintern Abbey. Don't forget to check out the bees and enjoy the lovely peaceful surroundings of the abbey. Or if you'd like to make a purchase, the honey and the mead is available in the shop here at the Tintern Abbey. Or jump onto our website at www.hivemindmead.com and you can come make a purchase there. Thank you very much indeed. Good to see you.